everybody, it's that time again.
What time is it, Pete?
It's time to do the Jim and Peter Show.
Ah, great.
Yes.
I love that.
How you doing?
Doing good. I mean, like I said, we're getting into the summertime and...
You said that?
Yeah, it's true. It's true, But, yeah, things are pretty good.
Yeah? Hey, I heard you got a dog.
Why do you laugh at that?
Oh, because the pleasures of having a new dog.
You're laughing because... okay, I'll tell everybody real quick. Jake wanted a dog. My ex-wife has 4 dogs, so he wanted to have an dog. And I love dogs,
yeah, sure.
No problem.
I get it.
We went to a shelter. We got this cute little boxer that was adorable. People were killing each other trying to get this dog. It was unbelievable. I mean, I'm not kidding.
A boxer?
This one kid, I guess he'd been trying to get a boxer forever, and you'll have to line up at 6 a.m. to get these dogs. And he was busting glass and stuff. The one kid, I never get a dog. It was crazy, but we got him. And he was great. He was adorable, powerful, but he literally could eat everything in my house.
That's why I was laughing.
Yeah,
I know what's coming with a new dog.
That's why I'm following you now. I mean, that dog literally ate a complete pole and almost had my entire patio falling down. And then it got into my CDs, my old CDs, and ate them. Yeah. Yes, ate them.
He ate the CDs.
I thought we got to take him to the vet, and the vet goes, he'll probably be fine. It'll come out. Just take a look at it. And I'm like, they're like shreds of glass, And then he got in and ate my tires on my Camaro.
I heard that the dog now sings Springsteen.
No, he does not. No, a lot of songs about that, but no. So we had to go back. We had to put him back. It made us feel terrible,
really?
But we found a good person who had a ranch and could eat the whole freaking mountain.
Yeah, those were new dogs, depending even on the dog. But in the beginning, that's a full-time job right there.
I spent probably $400 or $500 on that. It was a great dog. He was really cool. It was he was teething and he would just eat everything.
Yeah,
so we decided. And Jake was upset. So I said, we're gonna go find another dog. Don't worry. So after weeks and weeks, we were very lucky. We went to the shelter here.
Good.
And from a distance, we were bummed because these other people were there, and it was a lab, and a beagle. And it was so cute. It was unbelievable. It was like it made up in Hollywood.
A LaBeagle.
Yeah, LaBeagle. And we're like, and I didn't want Jake to see it, because he's going to go crazy and the whole thing. And it turned out that they worked there, and it had just got in 20 minutes, and we got him.
Good.
So we've had him now, and having a dog is great. It's great for us, But the topics that I could go on, I won't go longer on though, because what happens with kids. You want to have a frog, you want to have a snake, you want to have a dog. If you want to have a cat, then I might have to shoot you because I can't stand cats. But the bottom line...
Sorry, cat people.
Yeah, cat people.
He doesn't mean
cat
it.
people, are you divorce your cats. Yeah. That's my suggestion. But...
there are a few cool cats just to say there's an exception. I know, I get it. I'm a dog guy.
I'm rebuilding my house, and the cats come in and just destroy it.
Well, that's because you have an incident that's making you feel bad.
What?
Oh,
what?
I know you had some cat issues in your neighborhood that are just...
Yes, well, let's not talk about that.
That's what I'm saying. So you're a little bipartisan right now.
But here's the thing. Whenever you have...
Tweety bird.
When every kid wants some kind of animal, mostly, always, basically dogs, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, look, Jake. I've told you a million times you have to take care of certain things. You got to be a little man now, and you got to take care of. I won't be here. You have to take him out for walks. Oh, I'll do that all the time, Dad.
If I had this dog, I would. Yeah,
Dad, I'll walk him right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Second of all, you have to feed him 3 times. He's a puppy. He's going to, yes. You have to use that spray so he doesn't come out and bite everything that we have, And he's an adorable dog. And within 2 days, he'd run in and he'd wrestle with him and they'd go in the pool and they'd roll. And I'm like, oh, isn't this great? It's fantastic and everything. And then then I wake up this morning and everything is destroyed. And there's poop everywhere. There's everything else. And I'm like, Jake, was I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
So that's
the thrill is gone. He's fun to play with, but
that's the sad part of it. But he's adorable. I'll put a picture on.
I just kind of knew that comes with it, and then you guys got to put it in the time, and then he'll be the greatest dog in the world.
He
but in
is
the
the greatest
beginning,
dog in the world.
it's a
He
bitch.
really is. He's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog poop, son of a bitch! Who did it?
Oh, I walked through it.
I know.
I got up in the morning
and
and this dog shits here and then it goes shits over here and then it shits over there and it shits over there. And I'm walking through and then there's pee.
Well, yeah.
Bonus.
Yes.
And so I'm walking through it at night. Oh.
Yeah. Oops. That warm,
I'm not going to use
fuzzy feeling through your toes.
I know. You stop and you go.
I think there's a fetish for that.
I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Oh, on the other shoe.
The dog thinks his name is Jake now.
It's on the other shoe.
Yeah.
Jake, I swear to God, I've got all over my foot. I got poop all over. It's warm and just disgusting. And there's pee. And I go, Jake, look at this. And Jake turns around and looks at me and goes, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, bummer. Bummer. You should watch where you're going. Hey, man.
But yes, since you mentioned it, we love our dog. We'll take a picture and put him up there.
Well, I'll ask you again at the end of the summer after the season. Because by then it should be better.
He's going to be here.
Should be, it's just a phase.
Jake could go.
Yes, you're right.
But
exactly.
the dog's going to stay.
So today I came in with something I've been wanting to talk to you about. With amongst the many things, as always.
50-50. That's what we said. 50-50.
No, 50-50 what?
You said 50-50. Don't try to screw me on that, man.
Is that a restaurant order? Give me the 50-50.
We're supposed to be 50-50. Are you?
We're 50-50.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. What am I talking about? I am talking about something that I think is one of the biggest issues, at least for me, and I know it's not for me, of my whole entire relationship on what it's done to me as a person. Stress.
As divorce as well?
Yeah, divorce.
Yeah.
Again, most of my life, everybody's got problems. Everybody thinks, as you go through life, but the divorce changed me. There's no doubt. I mean, I get into rages that I never, ever, ever in my entire life have been, and wish I never experienced that, because now there's a button that I can take so much and then I just go to 11, and that's the way it is. But on top of that, it's like when you go to a doctor and like the doctor says, I think you got high blood pressure, and you go in the doctor and you go, that's impossible. I've never had that. And it's like, well, yeah, you do now. That's the thing.
You're getting older though.
Yeah, things change. But stress.
I have high blood pressure.
I know you. Well, but did you have it when you were 20?
No.
Okay. But the thing is that I've been fortunate. I met a doctor through one of my other businesses that when I met you, the thing I was doing. And I like this guy because this guy not only could relay a message, but he was interesting. But we've stayed friends through the years now. I've known him since about 2009.
How'd you meet this person?
I met him through when I was doing my the Zango stuff I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I met him because he likes to create things to help, not only does he blog, but he's also creates natural things to help you cope with life, instead of taking medications. And I like the guy, so he was very interesting, and we became friends. We're still friends, and I'm very thankful for that. His name is Dr. Sean Talbot, and he studies chronic stress. And I got to tell you, if it's not divorce, it's getting to work, it's coping with your jobs, it's the kids, the this and that, and how it changes you. So, yeah, I just happen to be, he's on my Facebook, and he's a fan of ours, believe it or not. And I happen to catch a post because he posts things about, this is a guy who, he does marathons and the Ironman contests and all that. And I mean, if you look at him, he's just a normal looking guy, but he's just a very health conscious guy, and he's not, Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that, but he just takes care of himself, and he's very much into that on his own, as well as the traumatic of what it does to you. And this is something that the minute I read this article, and I don't sit and pick things apart very often, but God bless it, when I read this, I'm thinking about us, because I'm telling you, when I read this little snippet, you're going to shake your head, and if you're not in agreement with this, then I don't hardly know you. Who are you?
Well, I need to put bells on my head so that people can know that I'm shaking my head.
His head.
Yeah,
well, you'll be shaking your head. So the beauty of it is, I need a pen. The beauty of it is, I need a pen. Sorry, I just want to highlight this stuff. I'm good. So the beauty of it is that he wrote a small article, and he does periodic things about stress or body balance. I mean, all these kind of things. And I just happened to catch this one. I think this was a really good one. So if you don't mind, I'd like to read pieces of it and then see what you think.
Okay.
Because I promise you, and I know all these people out there, I am hitting everybody right in the core because what he's got to say makes perfect sense, and you're going to understand. And what we do about it after I read this is a whole nother thing, but at least it's in your head to think about it because it does change things. I mean, I'm different, and I know it, and I don't like it. You ready? What?
Yeah. Where's the cot?
The cot? Mm-hmm. Why, you think this is going to be boring?
No.
How dare you, sir? Let me tell you something. I think this is
joking.
No.
Laughter is good for stress.
Oh, wait. The jokes are yet to come.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Just kick back. Just kick back. Okay. So Dr. Sean Talbot, they call him Doc Talbot. And again, and we'll post things how you can read more things if you're interested. And I know we're going to have him on the show, too, because this is how to get through life, because this is what's killing us. Okay, chronic stress, your brain on stress. Chronic stress not only emotionally and functionally affects the brain, but it can also lead to direct physical changes in this most important organ, your brain. Research has shown the chronic stress not only increases incidence of such simple effects as moodiness, brain fog, or irritability, but can also eventually process the development of such physical impairments as full-blown memory loss and dementia. Okay? Look at your eyes just got big. See what I mean? What have we been talking about all these years when we've been trying to do this show? In the mornings when we're trying to pull it together. Yeah, I'm hitting you right now. I can see it. It's all I look at. I knew this was going to be important because I'm hitting on a... It's not just you and me. It's everybody. We all have this crap. Go ahead.
Keep reading, doctor.
Keep reading, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not me. I'm just reading from a doctor.
No,
but
that hits
this is why I'm doing this. I knew it. The minute I thought, I go, oh, wow, we're going to have a heyday on this because it's real. Okay. Moodiness and fog. Okay, brain fog, irritability, full-blown memory loss, and dementia. Each of these conditions involves a degree of mental deterioration characterized by damage and the death of nerve cells in the brain. And it has been estimated that as many as 20 to 50% of adults in industrialized countries suffer from these degenerative brain conditions. This is a very high percentage of the 65 to 90% of adults in industrialized countries who suffer from enough chronic stress to the result of detrimental health condition, not just physical or brain related. Like it'll kill you. It'll freaking kill you. The changes in mood that accompany periods of heightened stress also bring reduced energy levels, feeling of fatigue, irritability, inability to concentrate, and feelings of depression, all which are related to the same class of brain chemicals, neurotransmitters. Sound familiar?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I know. This is a very awakening thing because we're going to talk about this. But when I saw this, just my lights were going off because this is what we've been living with, and I know it and you know it. So that's why I felt it was important. Most notably and scary, perhaps, are the findings that chronic stress can lead to actual physical changes in the arrangement of the neurons, nerve cells, the brain. In other words, we're talking now about stress being able to exert changes not just in biochemistry and function or the brain, but directly on the physical structure of your brain. So the stress is so friggin' powerful that it's just not only rewiring you, it's also altering itself as a physical membrane. I mean, this is how damaging this is. People suffering from depression are a classic example of elevated cellular stress with disruptive biochemical balance in hormones, such as cortisol and testosterone. When I met this guy, he was coming out with something that helps keep your cortisol and testosterone levels balanced. Bring up your testosterone. As you get older, you lose it, even in females. But we was talking about cortisol, fight or flight. He was talking about how animals, they can be resting in a jungle and all of a sudden they need to go do something and they can jump up and do that. But you can't have your body on high alert like that. It eats you up. And this is what stress does. And I learned a lot about cortisol through this man and never forgot it. And I guess, thank God, I'm still listening to him because it's evidently a huge epidemic. The people who are under the highest levels of cellular stress also tend to be the ones who succumb to periods of moderate depression. Now, that could be anybody. I mean, some people do suffer from depression, and I get it, but the stress in general. So, if cellular stress can change the function and structure of your brain, wouldn't it be cool if the function could push the other way to influence cellular stress? Well, it can. So he's saying, you know what, even though you can tear it down, there's ways you can build it back up or build it up.
Good.
Sports psych. Bear with me.
I'm with you.
Okay, because, yeah, there is hope, possibly. I mean, he's thinking there's hope, but we're going to talk.
Hope's been dead quite a long time, though.
I know, but he died happy. He didn't have stress.
He was 92.
He didn't have stress.
Oh, he was 100, wasn't he? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, this is great.
Thank you.
Really
May I?
Yeah.
Sports psychologists have known this for decades. Athletes can use mental imagery, basically thinking about their events. Now, I've heard about that shit when I was growing up and, like, think yourself winning and all that. That's like,
right.
you know, but he talks about that. I'm going, I don't know.
Who's that guy who read that famous book? I know what you're talking about.
Peel. The Secret?
Peel. Somebody
Ron Popeil?
No.
Said it and forget it.
No, his name was Peel. I'm sure Ty will figure that out. It's
Ron Popeil.
No, it was
Had
a
the
big
hairspray thing.
My mom would read that all the time, and that's how she got through a lot of the problems she had. Peel, Dr. Peel.
Elite level athletes routinely train their bodies for strength, speed, and agility, and at the very best of the best also train their minds, their emotions for optimal performance. The average person has little understanding or appreciation for the fact that it is possible to train and to sculpt mental circuits just as biceps or buttocks can be shaped. The process is a little more complex than simplistic. Think and Grow Rich platitudes, that you hear from self-help gurus. In other words, it's a little more harder than just reading a book, Think and Grow Rich, and then I'm just going to think this. It takes up probably a lot more dedication and requirements to do what he's thinking you can do, but he says it can be done. The brain bears the footprints and ski tracks of the decisions that you make, the experiences that you have, and the thoughts that you think. In response to the experiences, the actions that you undergo, the brain strengthens the neural connections involved in these experiences.
At all ages?
Again, he doesn't really give a lot of ages, but I'm thinking middle-aged because that's when you're falling off your track a lot, and we can ask him about that. But again, he's not saying it's guaranteed, but it is possible to repair things, even though I want to talk about the damages, though, because that's what we constantly are experiencing.
By the way, Norman Vincent Peale. That's the guy who made that book. It was The Power of Positive Thinking.
Okay.
And it's, that's the foundation of what in the 60s, my mom, all of her friends, they were huge on that. And she got through a lot of things. But I get it.
I mean, you got to have positive books, but the thing is not recognizing what's going on, I guess, is where I'm going to go with this.
Gotcha.
This possesses important possibilities for those individuals who are troubled by depression, anxiety, making it possible to rewire those areas of the brain, the pathological connections, and establish new, better, healthier connections that lead them away from burnout and toward vigor. Think of problems such as depression, anxiety, fatigue, or burnout as issues that involve biochemical balance and cellular stress. Rebalancing the internal biochemistry and relieving cellular stress helps restore mood, energy, and mental focus to help us feel and look our best. Well, no shit. I understand that, and I get what he's saying. Naturally, when you're happy and you're doing this, of course you're freaking healthier. I mean, I get that.
Everything flows easier. Your blood flows better.
Everything. Yeah. But this is when I read this article, I just thought of us. Because look at the crap that we have bitched about, and especially when we were trying to film in the beginning days, and it's like, I just can't think straight. I didn't get any sleep. And we're going, holy crap. And where is this all coming from? The way we're living our lives right now.
Yeah, and now Alzheimer's is such a big topic too. So you start thinking, wow, could it happen?
At our age?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, well, it can, but
there's I think 200,000 or 100,000 early ones.
But the chronic stress, we're running to go get the kids to school. You're stressing because you're fighting because of the you can't have your kids and nobody gets along, and who's rebelling, and
we can't
do
fight and flee. We can't do it.
Fight or flight. Well, you can.
Either way, whatever.
You can, but you can't.
No, you can't, because it was made, you're either going to fight to the death or you're just going to run away.
True.
In our way, we're
existing, but we carry. Yeah. I mean, I go to bed pissed off. I mean, I go to work not knowing, again, the anxiety of me going to work I'm low. Exactly. Yeah. You know, not intentional, but it's there. I get pissed off at things. Before I met you, I had to go to a doctor because I was getting these splotches under my arms, and these red splotches. Never saw them before. I didn't know what the hell it was. So I go to the doctor, and he looks at me, goes, he goes, how's this going? How your blood pressure's kind of high, and this and that. And he goes, I hate to say it, but I think it's stress. And I'm going, I mean, I'm going through stress, but nothing I can't handle. You know what I mean? Nothing I can't.
What about?
Fuck that.
No problem.
I just did I can't. But you know what? He was right. It was stress. Your body's showing a sign under color tone or whatever under your arms, which is a very susceptible area. And my skin was starting to freak out, and it was under my arms. I was getting these big, giant. Yeah, who would have known? I know it's funny.
I've never heard a doctor say that it's freaking out.
Yeah, I was freaking out. Because it's like, hey, I'm laying in bed at night having anxiety attacks. Like I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack because you're thinking about stuff so heavy you can't sleep at night.
Well, that was fantastic, and I want to get a copy of that for sure. We should put
just happen to have one right here.
How about that?
Yeah,
and we should put this up on Facebook because it's funny. It's not funny. We know these things. We really do. The worst part was when I didn't have an actual job. You know, when we had a divorce, at least I still had a lot of money, and I knew that I was going to get all these other studios that want to get me and all that stuff, and it turned out to be just a bunch of liars. They just wanted to steal things, some of my ideas. And that's when I started thinking, this can be really bad. I mean, it's already bad now. Yeah. I'm losing. And now when I lost Megan recently, a few months ago, it got 4 times harder.
When you say lost, you mean just your visitation time?
Visitation, yeah. It doesn't really want to talk to me, basically.
Yeah. Going through that phase.
And now I'll show you how great your situation, I'm sorry, who's this gentleman again?
Dr. Sean Talbot.
He's absolutely right.
He's
because
on the money.
I can tell you right away, because you've seen how much I've been having the just huge amount of stress, anger.
I probably have to deal with you more than anybody on a normal let's do life basis.
Well, the thing of it is like I just couldn't, then every day I would get okay, I should just go and I have the legality to go over and just see my daughter and take him out. Oh, then she'd hate him even more. Oh, and then people would say, oh, she's 13, they're all, having all types of rebellion and all this other stuff. You should just wait it out. And everyone's got these great ideas, and like we get tons of these. We get tons of these when people come in. And God bless you for coming in. I appreciate it. But everybody's got to deal it in the right way. And just because the other day I stumbled into the ability to talk to my daughter for about 25 minutes, I went and got some coffee for her, and she was exactly the same person. She's not the same mean, nasty person anymore. She's herself again. And I walked out, and it's like, it's like you just came out of the hospital and you found out you don't have cancer.
Yeah.
It's like,
but before you walked out like that, and again, it's not like I can get up and go. I got to go to my Pilates class. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't do it. I know I need to work out. We know that we need to that. We know it helps you.
Now, does it show how? I'm assuming.
This was just a brief snippet,
and how you go through the whole thing.
All in general, he's got all kinds of articles. I'll post links up there. I mean, because
I think all of our fans would love that.
Absolutely, he is I'm telling you, he's the bomb. He knows this. I love this guy because again, he's not boring. Because doctors are boring. Most of them are. This guy, you see the fire.
You were kind of boring there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a good reader, but the thing was, I felt it was important because when I read this, I
don't want you to get stressed.
Your face was all over this, and then mine too. And I'm going, this is screwed up.
All kidding aside, this is fantastic.
You'll take it home with you.
I got it in my hand.
I mean, in your brain, I guarantee you that this episode...
I've always thought that's what it was. And then on top of that, though, with the Alzheimer thing going around and so many of our friends, our parents getting really old, 85, 90, whatever, it's scary. I mean, it really is. And because we had our children... when we were kind of old, older in our 40s.
How dare you?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
No, we did. Older than most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we have to stay alive. We had to get them to their own boat.
And maybe the stress levels would have been different when we were younger. Who knows? They wouldn't have been called stress because we wouldn't give a shit. We'd probably be different people. Who knows? But we do give a damn.
Well, what's so funny about that too? All the years, and I was younger, but tell me if you don't feel the same way. When we had to fight all the time, we were signed up with Epic, and we were like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I was 20 years old, and we had a great band, and we had Barry White's son as our manager. We had everything set up. We were going to go to France.
I remember him saying he's never going to give you up.
That's right.
I love your band, man. Never going to give you up.
But anyway, thanks for that. But the point of it was, and we were thinking everything was great, and we went to see the Barry House, which is fantastic. I'd never seen anyone with fingernails that curl like the tail of a.
I'm never going to clip my nails.
Okay, Ty, it's your turn. You're going to have to talk because this is out of control. But but we got in there, and even we had our best friend kill himself in our house, and we went, and it was stress. It was terrible. It was horrible. But we kept going.
Right.
We kept playing. We got a new singer. We're not nearly as good. We had a huge fight. He and I. We almost killed each other once. We were drunk. We were in some state, and we just, for some reason, we lost Danny, who had killed himself. That was with us forever. And these are things that are heavy stress things. But even so, as it was, I was able to keep pushing and to keep. I wasn't like you're talking
more
here.
Bulletproof then.
Yeah, I was able to go because it was happiness to me, being able to play and to go out and and go around and play in different places. It kind of soothed everything. It never made me that happy. Then even when I got my job at Vivid and made tons of money, I wasn't really into being in that job, but the money was so great. I had a great wife. Everyone was happy then. I started having really heavy stress that I couldn't turn off on was when I realized I'm not happy.
Yeah,
I'm not happy. And then when the kids came in, everything's great. But at the same time, I lost my mom, so my point is, I think happiness is a huge part of it, and I think if you want to make sure that you have to bring that happiness into yourself, and I haven't been doing so for quite a long time.
Look at this. We didn't necessarily say, you know what, this is all going too good. I think we should burn this thing to the ground. I don't think that people signed up for that, but it happened. So what do? Because not only are we not bulletproof because we're not 20 anymore, I think we change as human beings. Like, I've gotten softer emotionally in my old age. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just tend to think about being a little more considerate to something. You tend to open your mind up and not be as unempathetic to something, right. But I hate this. I'm fully aware of this, but do I feel like now getting up at 3 a.m. and going and exercising? I'm still not there yet.
If we exercise, we get decent sleep, which is hard for us.
Again, good luck with that, Mr. Ralph. You're always running.
Well, just like you would probably say at the same team when we were musicians, I would wake up. I tell people, don't call me at all until 3 p.m. I'm going to be sleeping the whole.
Again, you didn't have kids. Things were different. Now it's like you got to go do what you got to do, and on top of that, we're going to throw a divorce in there that's going to really. Throw a big old wrench in the fan, and your jobs are going to change.
I don't think you need to have to throw tools at people.
Well, you can't, because you got to throw something with some meat in it.
Ow!
It kind of
Jesus! What was that for?
That was for being you. But so here we are, and we know that we're damaging ourselves, and yet I get even more pissed off knowing about that I'm damaging myself and can't seem to turn it around. What do?
That's a good question.
To keep yourself from being buried 6 feet under, because this will kill you. It does kill you. It's taken heart attacks.
I've known that I'm going to have a heart attack because Jake's a load, and and sometimes I wonder if this is a benefit in a bad way, because menstrual, 13 years old. This is the worst time. And every single person, I was watching Louis C.K. and he was even on that too. Just get away from him. Yeah. Just get away from him.
Things come around
Put him out
again.
where the deer are.
But in the meantime, what about your own personal health?
That's it. That's
I mean, how do you, again, here's what happened. It took years to get like this, unfortunately. Sad but true. It took years. What do? You can't just turn it around by having one good day.
Well, this is what's so wonderful, if it's true, and I believe it is. Brain fog is definitely me. Because I'm sharp.
No,
dude,
silly.
I was so sharp, and I could, like I told you before, I think we did a topic a little while back when I was saying, when I was young, I was so terrified to get up and talk to people. I couldn't do it. No way. When you had your report and you're supposed to get up and I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And then, Jim, this is great. It's fantastic. You'll get an A. Give me a C. Give me a D. I don't care. I can't do it. No way. I couldn't do it. And all of a sudden the key turns and you're up there in front of thousands of folks, And so what I'm trying to say is I wasn't stupid, and I was a decent person in terms of knowledge, and I know the words that scared me so much at this particular time, because I know what the word I want to use. It's the perfect word to use. It's in my head. Well, let's move over to the next sentence, but it's stuck there. I can't get it out of my mouth, And then you start thinking, and then you have your friends who go, "Man, you might have Alzheimer's." Ha 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 ha. Thanks a lot. That's
another
fantastic.
seed for the paranoia part of you. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm dying. I know, dude. We get together in the mornings. I'm going, oh my god. I'm trying to figure out how, because once we start rolling, it's all in the past. But holy moly, getting you kickstarted some mornings are really tough.
Yeah.
And I get it, but I possess a different habit, but I could bitch about stuff, but I'm never going to say I can't. And whether it comes out good or not, it's a whole other story. But I see this in us big time.
I think that's very great, and I hope that in some way we can go back and make our brain strong again. I hope so. See, or at least stop at this point.
Well, again, I think it starts with being aware that, we're screwed up, they're screwed up, men and women. The stress of trying to be a parent and trying to get through life and trying to make a living and trying to feed your kids and trying to get them to all their activities because you want them to be decent human beings because it's not their fault. We know it's knocking me down. I'm tired. I just want to sit down and for more than just a couple of hours one day. Yeah. They go, you should relax for a day. It doesn't change me for one day. Vacations don't fix me. Vacations are, some people go, oh, I can't wait for that 2 weeks. What happens when you go for the 2 weeks, you come back in the same shit you started with? Mm-hmm. Now, it helps, but you got to figure out a way how to change yourself every day. Yeah. That's a tough call. I like life. I looked at Anna today and I said, for me to be 50 years old, for you to be 50 years old, I'll have to be 94. That's a tough call. I said, but I'm going to do my best. I want to be around. We all want to be around.
Same thing.
We all want to be around. Well, most people want to be around. I love life. Even my worst day,
but I don't want to be the mushed 90-year-old.
True.
Barely walking, and just can I have Jello kind of thing?
But I got to tell you, I know,
and that's not knocking anybody's family person.
My mama's at that. She's like that almost. But
I'm with you. I want to. I would like to be 90 years old. You see these people who are 90, 100, and they're sharp as can be. Betty White, these kind of things. You're not going to get too much girls, but
it's just good to be alive.
If you're healthy enough to move around, to eat, and to enjoy your life, I'd like to be playing golf at 90. I probably won't be.
You never know. You don't know, but I'll tell you, you will know if we keep this up.
Well, that's true, but I'm telling you, I'm with you 100%. I want to be with them. I want to see how they grow up. I want to see their kids. I want all of that, but I don't want to be the ones that, as you start, to just kind of wither away and your brain gets completely smush and you don't know who you are or anything like that. That's why I'm so thankful that California has this bill that just went through.
It passed?
It did pass big time. I think it was like 72%, something like that. And it was assisted suicide bill into law, which means that you can go to your
lawyer.
You can go basically anywhere, but usually you're going to go to your doctor. And I talked to my doctor, who's great, and he says, I think it's a fantastic thing.
To offer you?
Yeah, he never liked
Doc,
me.
what do you think about that? Well,
he never liked me, which is kind of weird because when we went and played golf, I noticed that he kept hitting balls really close to my head.
Really?
Yeah.
The man's nuts. Grab him.
He was trying to hit those too.
Yeah.
But those are a decision that you should have, I think, and I believe in that. But I want to be as sharp as I possibly can. What you brought in today was very boring, but it was extremely great.
It's
it
very
really
important.
Was.
Again, this is a short article. I don't like reading this kind of stuff, but believe me, you of all people, I always kept thinking about it.
I think it's fantastic, and I think you will put it up on Facebook for sure. And
I'm going to get him on the show because it's much better when you're talking to him because he's talking to you, not reading. I read very monotonal.
Yeah, we got to get him on.
I'm a crappy reader. I never signed up for being a narrator.
Well, because for what we're talking about here is the divorce that we get hit like a bat.
Yes.
And some people know it's coming. A lot of people know it's coming. But even then, it's a bat in the head. But when you don't know it's coming, and all of a sudden, by the way, hey, where are we going on a trip?
Majority.
Yeah, we're going on a trip.
Forever.
We're taking all your shit and you're done.
We're just burning it.
And that's that. I think that's more than getting hit with a bat.
Quick story.
Oh God.
No, you're good because this is how you can relate. Old friend, we grew up together, drum tech to the stars. Originally started out in the same town. Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. He eventually got out of the business, got married to a woman. And he's been divorced. He has a 15-year-old daughter. He works for Technicolor. He just and he's been stressing every year paying alimony, because you know how the business is. 1 minute you're doing shows, you're working, and then all of a sudden your show's canceled, then you're not making money. So he pays alimony and child support. My buddy is one of the sweetest, most mellowest guys in the world. Not a rager. Now we've had a lot of fun, we've partied and this and that, but mellow guy. I just got on the phone with him, haven't spoke to him in a while. He lives right not too far from us, but it might as well be 3,000 miles. He told me, he says, Peter, I just got through calling my in-laws, asking them to reason with my ex, because if I continue to pay alimony, I'm afraid I'm going to go to bed one night because he's doing Valium from anxiety, and he finds himself drinking wine at night just to take the edge off. He says, I'm afraid I will screw up, not intentionally, and not wake up. And this is a guy who I know very well, and that's and you know what? His wife agreed to not pay any more alimony because it's that serious. This is what it does to us. Do you not go home? I go home. When I come home, I just want to take the edge off a little bit. I'm just wound up.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I'm not a drinker. I don't like getting oblivious, but I'm looking for something just to find some peace. And this is what's happening to a lot of people. This is my buddy, and I've known him since we were 15 years old, and we've been in the business together. And he's telling me this, and I go, it's a big world. And then he starts rattling off one person after another person in the business who's, oh man, they should be on your show. They should be on. I'm telling you, it's unlimited.
And you start to think, geez, not only have I been hit with the bat, and I've lost at least 50% of my time for my children who grow lightning fast.
Real fast.
And then you think, but that's not enough sometimes. You think, well, we just want to keep hurting you because the pain that's inside you, you want to use this and put it on you.
Absolutely.
I definitely see that often.
So,
really, on both male or female. It's just because you look out and you think, geez, I had a kind of a good life. I had a great family, and I made this change, and maybe I shouldn't have, but it's not my fault. It's your fault.
Again, it takes two, and it is what it is. The problem is, like I told everybody, we don't care really what caused the divorce or this and that. We're here to say, okay, now you're in this position. How do we survive the aftermath? Right. Because we have children, and we love our children. Again, that's all about our children. We wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't have children because we'd be off doing whatever the hell we wanted to go do because life was different. But you do, and just like my friend, he adores his daughter, but it's killing him trying to pay spousal support. That was really unneeded spousal support as well, but he was ordered to pay it.
Yeah.
And I can see people accidentally doing a little bit too much, trying to relax their brain from overthinking and never waking up. I've already had that with people.
Yeah.
So,
well, this was great. I'm so glad that you did. You did.
It is, and I'll tell you what,
I will do. I want to learn how to build back up.
We
That's
are
how-
going to
how
have-
I feed, how I sleep. You know, I can
gonna-
still drink vodka though.
Sure,
Okay.
in moderation. Everything in
Thank you.
moderation.
That was
okay?
close.
Yeah, it's not fattening either. So that's a good thing. We're going to have Dr. Sean Talbot on the show. He already told me he would. It's just a matter of us getting the
Great,
timing
great.
right, and we'll get to
That's-
talk to him because he's way more interesting than me reading an article. I apologize, people, but I felt it's that important.
No,
because,
it was great. It was very cool, and the fact that the stress that is put on you just as a human is one thing. The stress that is
Every
put
day.
on you, an attack
Yeah.
that you really
More
won't be able
logs
to
on the
shake
fire.
out of. But as we go, I've met many friends too. We've gotten some of those great letters. I can't remember that guy from Kentucky. But the fact of the matter is, he was just that big guy. You can see what he'd be like. He'd be one of those Southern, really smart guy, and he said, "I just let it flow." And I'll never forget that. I just let it flow. And sure enough, his kids came back to him. Things were coming good. A lot of my friends and a lot of our people that have been coming to our show have said the same thing. If you can just be calm, if you just let it flow through, it'll be good. I think it's very hard
We're
to do.
looking for that fountain.
But even though he got him back,
yes.
he did lose that period of time,
Again, some aren't that lucky, and some need that. That's
No,
why we
it's
have
Kentucky.
this show. Kentucky. Some aren't Kentucky. But again, this is why we do this show, because everybody.
Carl is his name, by the way.
Hey, Carl.
Carl.
Anyway, but
Carl's
yeah,
cool. He's good.
I hear you. The thing is, if it wasn't for us talking about this, there's a lot of people have no clue, and you're just swimming in your own sea of disaster, and that's that.
right.
So again, thanks to Dr. Sean Talbot for printing this article and still
Very much
being
so.
my friend, and we're going to get him back on the show. It's time for us to get out of here because next week is another week. So
Let's hope so.
yes. Well, again, who knows? That's why we got to make the best of all our days. Thank you, people, for listening to us on iTunes and Facebook and YouTubes and whatever other facets of delivery. Anything you want to say before we leave, Jim?
I feel much better today, and I mean that.
Do you really?
I honestly do, because there's hope. There's always hope. And the fact that we come into the office and we talk to these people, and like this gentleman that you came to you, it's a tremendous helpful situation for us, and that hopefully we're helping other people too.
I'm glad we got to talk about this stuff, but now it's time to wrap it up and go home. Again, thanks to our friend, Dr. Sean Talbot. Jim, thanks for actually showing up today, because you were starting to stress me out while you were being stressed out. That was always a big deal.
It's very stressful.
I know. Don't forget, and I thank you guys for listening and sharing with your friends on Facebooks, YouTubes, and iTunes, because it's all free because we give a damn.
You bet about that.
That's
And
right.
Every time you guys come to see our show or send out an email or a text, we feel great.
Yeah.
And we hope to do at least get some laughs out of you and hopefully learn some things, and we learn from you.
Keep
So,
them coming,
that's
people.
right.
All right, we're out of here. Peace out. Love you guys.
Peace out in.
Thanks for listening to the Jim and Peter Show. See ya.
Dokie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Okay then.
All righty.
Jim and Peter, Jim or Bad.